Now, what is persuasion? Have you ever tried to convince someone what you want the person to do? Well, that is called persuasion. Persuasion is to convince the other person to do or to accept what you are proposing. Now, persuasion is a very important aspect of negotiation. Persuasion skills depend upon many factors, such as your style of persuasion, how comfortable you are in communication skills, how comfortable you are in convincing the other person to accept or to agree what you're saying. Your attitude will definitely be the most important factor for someone to get persuaded. The way you talk and listen to people is going to play a very important factor in persuading the other person. A positive body language, and at the end of the conversation, you should have the ability to summarize and, if required, to give the feedback to the other person. Now, persuasion is a skill which you learn over a period of time. And the more conviction you have on what you have to say, the more chances there are that the other person will be persuaded. I'll give you one very good example. For example, let's suppose I want to go out and my parents do not want me to go out for study. And how I persuade them by giving them the positives and how it will impact my life positively is persuasion. So if I tell them that I need to go out to study for my better future, to get better quality of education, to learn more, and if I'm going to a foreign nation, to get a great experience and to interact with new culture. Now these all things will add up to my personality and I'll be able to make my future a better future. And I'm sure after listening to all this, my parents would definitely be convinced. But it's not what about I just told you in terms of points, it's how I say them. The emotional factor, my positive body language, my conviction in what I'm saying. These all factors will contribute towards effective persuasion. Now, are there any stages of negotiation? So what are the steps before you start to negotiate? Now you need to have a proper planning. Negotiation involves thinking about what you want to achieve as a result. So if I want to achieve a certain amount of salary hike, I need to plan my way out how I am going to approach my boss, or whether I want to leave the job altogether. You need to exchange your initial views. You need to explain to the other person that why you are planning to leave the job, or why do you deserve a hike. At the same time, you also need to explore possible solutions, because negotiation need to have the end goal in the picture. Whether you would be able to get a hike based on the points which you have, or maybe you would not be able to successfully get a pay hike. In that case, you are comfortable and ready to leave your job. At the same time, while negotiating, you need to find a common ground. Even if you're not getting a 20% hike which you want, but the boss is ready to accept something around 15 to 18%, would you be comfortable in accepting that? Because that would be a common ground. At the end, you need to secure the agreement once you both reach to a common agreement. And at last, it's the implementation. You agree what has been told to you and you accept the offer of your boss. So I've just given you an example of how you will negotiate for a hike in your salary through different stages. The first is you will prepare. Second is you will exchange your initial views. You will explore possible solutions. You will search for a common ground. You will secure the agreement and you will implement the agreement. That is how negotiation works. So it's preparation phase. You are interacting with the other person, and there is implementation. Now, these are certain aspects which we all need to be aware of once we talk about negotiation skills.